Hello guys, and welcome back to Rise of Prussia with our Prussian campaign of the Second Silesian War. In the last episode, at the very end, we got ourselves into quite an interesting situation. We have Austrians running around behind our lines, a small couple of brigades heading towards Prague, which isn't defended by much, but maybe enough to hold on, and there's certainly enough fort levels there to make sure the city's defended. Over by Eger, we've had two massive Austrian forces spill into Bohemia, which Frederick was keeping at bay until the winter forced him to head southeast in order to get supplies to, well, stay alive, which he is now good on. And I realized in that last episode, I also forgot about a feature while we were focusing over here to the east. I forgot that you can take a unit, drag it over an enemy unit, and target it, and then your unit will follow it. What I had done, I was over here, and I told my guy to just go past the other unit to make sure we got to it. That wasted probably a little bit of time, a little bit of cohesion, maybe a little bit of supplies. It was really just a mistake, but I remembered I can do it now. And I've already taken, let me show you, Frederick here, and I've dragged him over this force to ensure that we will follow him. We may meet him if he heads south. We may not meet him if he heads east or north. He just came southeast, so I believe he may be going towards Prague. Either way, whether he manages to get there or not, attack it or not, I will soon, by the end of the turn anyway, have this stack here belonging to, who is this? Prince Leopold. Frederick will be chasing this stack here, who is far enough away from this stack, and even when we assaulted Eger, we managed to eke out some wins here, so I do believe we could do some good damage, especially now that the lack of winter will be on our side in this area. Kurt, on the other hand, I'm sending back down to Brunn now that he is full up on supplies. He's taken supplies from here, he's rested, recovered most of his losses. Some of his units still need a little bit of healing, but they will get a chance to recuperate. I just want to get him moving down here now that supplies are accumulating here again. If he needs to take a turn to rest, he'll take a turn to rest. He's not even set to get there in one turn anyway, just because I want to be able to hunt down these brigades and get rid of them, basically. Over here, I'm a little more split on what to do because there is still winter in this area. These guys look like they may be doing poorly on supply, but they are in a fortified camp in the middle of winter. It would be very much not in my interest to take Karl here, Marwitz, and send him south into these conditions. So instead, I may just sit here for a turn because in late April, I assume the snow here will have cleared out. I could be wrong. Also, we do need to make sure that we have someone recruiting. I want to make sure the elite infantry are always recruiting, like just at all times, the 3 that we are allowed. And with that, you know, our money's down to like 0. Conscripts and war supply are doing really well. In fact, it's just money that we're having problems. Maybe we should consider doing some requisitions. It doesn't give us a crazy amount. It costs 3 victory points. It gives us $10,000. So we activate 3 at a time, and next turn we make an extra 30 or whatever. Yeah, 30 money. We did use it over here. There's some military control lost in these areas because of it. These areas won't ever be involved in the war, and now that the Austrians are more on the offensive, I do see that it could be worth it to just do this again, basically, as you see. So we've spent all of those again. Next turn, really, we'll get another $30 from it. It will cost us some victory points, but as you can see, victory points aren't really a concern. The Austrians have negative 24 victory points because they keep spending their victory points, I think, despite not even having any victory points. Let me come out of this. I'm not seeing anything at the moment that costs victory points, but I swear I've seen them impose drafts and requisitions despite literally not having any victory points. They've been in the negative for many turns. Maybe it was just stuff that they implemented beforehand and I didn't realize it. But we have over 1,000 victory points. We are nowhere close to the current Austrian count, so I'm not too worried about 3, 6, 9 victory points. Our morale is doing amazingly compared to the Austrians, but the Austrians are recovering their morale over time. Don't know how or where. Maybe there's a decision for it. Maybe it just recovers over time. I don't know. But if we get some good battles going on that we win, especially with Frederick, we can take their morale down a notch, hopefully again, while keeping ours high and above 150, because somewhere around 150 is the max bonus to your cohesion. We're still waiting on Saxony to open up so we can attack Halle and win the game. Otherwise, the strategic towns, which we may need to win at the end of the turn count, which we are about halfway through. Like, the moment I hit end turn, we're basically halfway through. And it's still a long shot now that the Austrians are waging war on us. mainly with harassing tactics in Bohemia because their full confrontations hasn't worked out so well despite outnumbering us greatly. Their organization compared to Frederick's organization has been enough to keep us winning. Over here we still have an entire army, or corps I guess it's called. It's called a corps, I think, yeah? Dismissed corps, yes. An entire corps of 2,000 power at the moment. Really powerful stuff. Chilling out in Leipzig, I don't know how to say it. And we're pretty much just going to leave them here to make sure we can defend what we currently own in Saxony while we wait for the rest of Saxony to open up so we can take Hal, hopefully with just them. Don't know what kind of defenses they would have. At the very least, we could start a siege and lock the area down, but I'm hoping the moment it opens up, we could just attack right off the bat and not have to worry about it. I've done everything I want to for this turn. It's going to be potentially a risky turn we're going into. Let's move on to that next turn. Okay, so he has gone to Prague. They all look like they're going for Prague. There's a lot of Austrian armies just converging on. Oh my god! What the hell is happening? Jesus Christ. Okay, I need to summarize what just happened because a lot of what just happened wasn't actually said. So we have arrived in Prague, thank the Lord, with some amount of units here. This army corps, which could use some time to recuperate with a long march through what was claimed as Austrian territory because of this army claiming it. This is the Prague garrison army. Okay, that's interesting. They must have been defending and then rushed out when we attacked it initially. Now, they did arrive in Prague, and we may be able to... Oh, here we go. Austria began a campaign to impose requisition. So they are doing it despite not having victory points. Over here it says we have failed to engage the enemy in the area of Carlsbad. Ah, I see. I guess that's our fort battery that's chilling out here, failing to engage the enemy at Carlsbad. It looks like Saxony's opened up. Saxony has... No. No, it hasn't. Wait, what? So, yeah, no. So some of Saxony has opened up, like right here. Freiburg has opened up, but Hal has not opened up. I didn't realize you could partially open up an area. Unless this has been open the entire time, I don't think it has been. And now there's an entire Saxon army going on the counter-offensive that we have to worry about. Frederick is still chasing after this army here. This is a massive army. There are thousands and thousands of combat value here. But as I was trying to say, it doesn't seem like it marked it here. But we did arrive in Prague, and this army chose to retreat instead of enter combat with us. They don't seem to have properly marked it for whatever reason. Now what we have here is, if they get some chance to recuperate about 2,000 power worth of units, plus the Prague garrison, which is about 2,000 combined right now as things stand. If there was going to be an attack today, right now. I've tossed them into Prague so that they can hide inside the level 3 fort, which should give them some leeway to not have to worry about this attacking force. Now, Frederick is still chasing this army, and man, if I move it directly to Prague, he'll take 8 days to get to Prague. I'm going to leave him... it's tough. I'll send him directly to Prague because that seems to be where everyone's heading anyway. Set him to enter upon arrival because that might come in handy. He may just get attacked the moment he arrives. I don't know. But we want him to get to Prague, that's for sure. Prague has a lot of supplies here for reasons I don't actually know. It has a size 4 depot, so it's been hoarding supplies. Our supply has been passing through every which way to get here. Looks like we're actually going to be moving through Austrian territory to get to Prague again because they're marching through and taking it from me. So we will be in the offensive when we get there, which is unfortunate. That being said, I don't think in one turn Prague could fall the way things stand right now. I think we have plenty of time to get Frederick there. The thing is, a battle may start the moment Frederick gets there. Hopefully he gets some chance to recover. Maybe they'll just attack before he even gets there. I don't know. This is a lot of Austrians just right here. We have probably 3,000 power right here, which isn't as much as Frederick's, and it's inefficient power, and another 2,000 power in here. So what's here right now cannot beat us. It just cannot. We have a lot more enemies, maybe 2,000 power if I had to guess, over here at Eger and surrounding basically just Carlsbad now that the Saxons are showing up on the enemy side. This is what has me believing Freiburg just opened up now, despite not saying anything about it. Over in the east, the winter's faded away, and what we can see with our reconnaissance at the moment shows a very injured enemy unit in this fortified encampment. Looks like we're pillaging this area. May not have enough supplies, so no, the enemy's probably pillaged it. We have about 2,000 power here. It's very well rested. It will take 8 days to get here. But when we do get here, I am immediately going to go on the offensive and assault, because I'm hoping whatever supply and cohesion this army's lacking, they don't have enough time to recover it in 8 or 9 days. So we will get there, we will assault, and hopefully not only take the camp and the area, but hopefully deal some massive damage to this group here, because they don't really have much of anywhere to run. They can run further this way, yeah, right here. Maybe try hiding. Our artillery cannot follow into these locations. If they don't have artillery, they could run this way. If they do have artillery, they're limited to running west, and they just can't escape. I'm hoping we can completely just destroy these units, if possible, in a turn or two, so we can take this army here, this corps, and reallocate it somewhere else where it would be a lot more useful. If we take a look at Kurt, he is 1 turn away from reaching Brunt. His cohesion supplies are doing very well. In fact, he was right next to this area this whole time, and he was probably drawing supply from it. Run supply has been increasing. We're going to cross the river here rather than just go straight for here to try to engage these units, simply because I don't want to attack crossing a river, and it's only an extra day's delay. So I'm going to target this enemy unit immediately after, and we're going to go on the offensive for this. Actually, we'll pass into the offensive the moment we arrive in that region, so I don't need to do that. Let's confirm we're doing that. Okay, it looks like their units are very damaged, not only cohesion-wise or supply-wise, but it looks like just the elements they've lost, they haven't recovered. So we have a chance to hopefully deal some big damage, or maybe even destroy this army here, which would allow us to then put Kurt elsewhere. And God knows we could use other units going elsewhere, based on how this is going. Honestly, if we could enter Chemnitz, I would with this army, but we simply cannot. The best thing I can do is march down and around here to get to Freiburg, but that's going to take a whole 2 turns, and that's just not worth it. So I'm just going to leave him here. Hopefully we can enter Hal soon, or even Chemnitz. I don't care. I just need a target of Saxony to attack to make them regret what they're doing. See if anything's changed over here. Yeah, the Austrians gained another 5 morale, and in fact, my morale's going down, and about an equal amount that theirs is going up. Maybe the 2 sides just kind of balance towards 100. I wouldn't be surprised. The enemy is maintaining negative 24 victory points. We are now we've passed the halfway point, I guess, at this point. Our military options, none of this has really changed. Our money has gone up thanks to our requisitions, of which we have 3 more we can use. Military control isn't so great here, but I'm going to go ahead and just put another 3 of these down, because we do need money more than anything, more than conscripts, more than war supply. This grants war supply. I need money in order to just keep recruiting things, to stay on top of everything. We're not actually recruiting any line infantry by themselves, and oh my god, we've run out of all of our line and elite infantry that we got last turn. We had gotten like 4 elements of each, and we've already used all of it. So let's look at one of these. This costs a tiny bit of morale, some engagement points, war supply, and 45 money. We can get one of these. So this one grants 5 line replacements. This one grants 5 line replacements 2 turns after choosing this option. They're the same cost. I'm going to take the instant one. That'll cost 45 money, and that'll be all my money for this turn. And that's basically all we're going to recruit for this turn. Okay, with several offensive moves set for this turn and a big defensive battle potentially brewing around Prague, let's proceed to the next turn, and I hope everything goes well for us and this doesn't end terribly. Ooh boy, alright, so, yep, he has arrived in Prague and begun a siege. Frederick is on the way. This smaller group of brigades seems to be running away, in fact. Frederick does seem like he is going to arrive in Prague. He has arrived, I think. Kurt has arrived to attack his target, which did not run, at least not at the start of combat. And we did it, guys. We killed everybody. Well, not everybody. It looks like we took a fuck ton of prisoners as well. What is this? 100... One company equals 100 men. Regiments are made of 10 companies, expressed in companies. I did the math on this before, and it didn't quite add up when I did it. But we have taken 146 companies, apparently, of prisoners, which I believe would add up to more men than this is. But one way or another, they are dead, done, gone, enslaved, I don't know. And we lost 0 men. We have successfully wiped a threat of ours off the map. And general unit, maybe more, because there were brigades here. So some general units, looks like 2 general units, and all of their fighting units. Meaning Kurt is now open to maybe chase this guy down, who's going to cause us a new headache, or otherwise go south and find some offensive targets. Okay, upon Frederick's arrival, a fight is breaking out. Frederick probably decided to attack since he was in the offensive, reclaiming our territory that we captured in Bohemia. On his way here, ooh, this is like freezing my game in such a big battle. Actually, this whole campaign seems to be freezing up more lately in general. Hopefully, that doesn't lead to any bad things happening. I can still hear what's happening. Actually, if I look at OBS, I can see the numbers moving, but on my screen where the game's open, I cannot see it. Let me see if I can see what's happening on OBS. So it looks like they're losing a lot more men than Frederick is by the hopes. I can't tell if that's a 7 or a 1, but it looks like Frederick's kicking some ass. More than likely, the defenders are going to come out of Prague to help us attack these units. That's probably why it's completely green. Frederick is pretty ballsy to do this attack. However, it's completely necessary in order to get rid of Austria's probably single largest concentration of forces in any one location. I see the bar went big red now. That's a huge yikes. This is already probably the largest, if not one of the longest, battle calculations I've seen my entire time playing this game between both campaigns. I do believe we still should be doing well. I remember they did have reinforcements. They had a whole nother unit here. That's probably why the red went like that. Okay, battle's over. I can now see what happened. So 50, almost 5,000 men. That's how we know that the defenders did sally out to assist us, or they just were involved in the battle in some way. We had a trench effectiveness of 49, implying that half the units involved in this battle were defended. We actually matched their number of units, and that doesn't sound very good for the Austrians, seeing as when they outnumbered us 2-1, we still kicked their ass. That being said, this battle doesn't look like it completely favored anyone, because look at how many hits. We took 263 hits. That's a lot of damage that we took. However, we did not lose a single element. We lost 4,239 men, 1,167 horses, no cannons. That is a painful amount of losses, but seeing as none of it is an element, it can very easily be recovered just by sitting still for a little bit. Just for a couple days, really, maybe even a week or two, and it would be fixed. On the other hand, our enemies took 650 hits. They lost almost 11,000 men, 1,707 horses. Their horse losses are kind of similar. And they lost an okay amount of actual element casualties, which is going to hurt them in any other fights that follow. And do note, there may very well be another fight this very upcoming day. We've taken a whole bunch of prisoners. These units lost do include the prisoners we've taken, and a lot of their units do appear to have been routed. Percentage of our units which were inside the city during the battle, 45%. Oh, okay, I see. So far, a very good result for us, and one we definitely need. Looks like they might have actually run away and are setting up a fortified camp, or someone here was doing that. They may be running away, but this is very important because as we see the Saxon army here, and if you combine it with this other Austrian force, it basically adds up to what they have here just by glancing at it anyway. I don't know that for a fact. Our assault here should be starting soon. Let's hit the check mark. Yep, looks like he has run away completely to the neighboring province rather than try to fight us again. Our assault here is going as planned. We vastly outnumber these units. They must be very worn down from running out of supplies in the winter, not even from any battles. But I do believe we did have an engagement with them. My game is frozen again, so I have to look at OBS. Oh, it looks like we're slaughtering them. Oh, yes. We've killed almost everybody. We've only lost 228 men, 52 horses, taking 14 hits to their 111. This is far more decisive of a battle. As you can see, they lost 2,391 men, 1,993 horses. Oh, the poor horses. That's all their horses. I don't know what this little cross means, unfortunately. But there does appear to be 3, maybe 4 generals here. There were more men than what they've lost, but if we take a look definitely looks like they lost most, if not all, of their elements. There's no way they're coming back from that. 289 companies taken prisoner. Wow, they didn't have as much supplies as they could have had, so they were definitely still recovering. So let's hit OK. Alright, this set of brigades is taking cover, let's say, in Iglau, so that they could probably recover their supplies or something. And we are left with a very interesting situation, and Hal is unfortunately still not open. After that pretty exciting turn, I've looked to find our morale has gone up and theirs has gone down, which we can definitely see happen here. 5 national morale points gained, 6 national morale points gained, 2 gained. From those several fights we had, several especially consequential fights that we had, I found out what happened over here. We didn't actually take the camp. A couple units did live, and it looks like it's probably just the generals, or someone at this point insignificant, escaping into the camp and hiding inside of it. We're doing pretty fine outside here. So we are doing okay on... We're doing well on supplies, despite what this says. And overall, our cohesion could be better, but it has had the rest of, a couple days of that turn to recover. There's nothing in this camp that could withstand what we have outside here. So we're going to assault it, and hopefully this will be the last turn. Like I said, it would take 1 or 2 turns maybe, and then we can wipe this nuisance off the map, and then get Marwitz down somewhere he can be more useful. If we go to Kurt, especially, actually, we found that he can actually be promoted. It's located somewhere in all this crap. And so I'm just going to promote him. Right now he's a 2-star general, but now he's finally set to become a 3-star general. You can promote the leader if he has seniority of 1, 2, or gain 4 seniority points since the start. Yes. He has seniority of 1, which I believe is only matched by Frederick himself. And I guess he's just done so much and won so much that he is now ready to be promoted to a 3-star general, which is really good because I believe his skills go up with his ranking. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe they do go up when you promote the general. Anyway, I do have him set to move through enemy territory here to go to Iglau, where we saw those several brigades take cover. Our army is mostly fit. It has mostly recovered anything it needed to recover. Its cohesion is doing well, not perfect, but well. The artillery is not doing the best, but Iglau doesn't have a fortress of any kind. It's just a size 3 city where we know some enemies are chilling out. We won't arrive there ready to, do the most, but we are going to arrive there and immediately attack to hopefully give whatever brigades are here no time to recover. Even if we don't do it in 1 turn, we should do it in a 2nd turn. I want to get there, take this. It's in range of Brunn, which should be able to supply going westward in case we need it. We've actually drained Brunn of all supplies. Actually, let's take a look. Yeah, it has ammo. We've already drained it of all supplies. So I want to get this city because this will also produce supply in this range here, because I think these supply out 2, maybe 3 hexes tops. I'm going to assume 2 for now. It's written in the manual. I wish they would just tell you, but I'm pretty sure it's like 2. Like, almost can supply to here, but not to here. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know. Over here at Prague, with the fight that happened, and just how many troops we have here, we've already burned through half of the supplies and ammo that have been stockpiled in this depot, which is crazy. But most of our supply wagons are still basically full. Now, Frederick's army, after so much moving around and after such a massive battle, his cohesion is crap. While his units are doing well other than that, and his supplies are just fine, again, his cohesion is crap. So he needs some time to recover. So I've stuck him inside the fortress, which I believe if I move these guys in here, it shouldn't affect anything negatively. No. So we have both of these guys stuck in here. Frederick's cohesion has limited his power to 1,279. I imagine this army's cohesion over here is similarly poor. But while Frederick's is doing this poorly, it's not really smart of me to go and do any offensive maneuvers this turn, especially not while crossing a river. Better yet, he may be provoked to move east and start some shit with us. While Frederick is recovering, I am going to leave this army corps with him mainly to protect him and the city of Prague in case they decide to attack again before Frederick is ready. I don't know what I'm going to do with them next turn. I may decide to attack. I may send that other army corps south and west to get behind the enemy lines and protect Pilsen, which is pretty important and currently basically undefended. We have another elite infantry that we can recruit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's burn through, most of our stuff here. We have our requisitions again. Unfortunately, our military control of these areas is now so low that we don't have the ability to do requisitions here. So we're going to have to move these requisitions elsewhere. And we got some more things over here that basically will not become relevant during this campaign, I don't think, as well as up here. So I'm just going to move over here for the time being. I'm going to take some requisitions, and we're just going to do some more requisitions. Again, 3 victory points every time we do this, not just the military control that we're losing. But, again, our victory points are doing so well. They've gone up by 300 since the start of this episode, and the enemy is still at minus 29. There haven't been any events, really, that I've seen. Nothing to indicate that Saxony has joined the war, despite me seeing their army running around. Nothing to indicate anybody else is joining the war. If I do take a look, we don't have any excess of units that I'm not already aware of. Bavaria, nobody else has joined to help us. I don't remember who will join to help us, but I think we've completed that turn nice and well. So we're going to hit end turn here. I hope that they do attack Prague this turn, honestly. I hope that they do. They probably won't. Looks like we have some movements here. The Austrians are moving more troops towards Prague. Oh, yes. Even the Saxons are moving towards Prague. Oh, this is shaping to be a hell of a consequential battle. Okay, Kurt has arrived at his target and has begun an assault. It doesn't look like he's dominating or anything. My screen is frozen. God damn it. So I have to look at OBS. It doesn't look like he's dominating the battle, but it does look like he's winning it. It looks like there's about even losses being traded here. Could be wrong. In fact, we might be losing more. Again, I kind of rushed this assault. He did not have full cohesion. He does not have full capability, but I do hope to basically do some big damage this first turn. Okay, it was actually a lot better than I could tell by looking through my tiny OBS screen, because apparently every single battle is going to just glitch out now. That kind of sucks. But we did arrive with 26,000 over that men and over 10,000 horses, 96 cannons. We've lost 1,360 men, 644 horses. Hit-wise, we only took 81 to their 225, so that's pretty good. We lost no elements despite losing a pretty decent amount of units. They took no prisoners. We took a lot of prisoners because out of their 5,743 units, 149 horses, it's not a lot. 48 cannons, though. They lost 4,275 men and 3 horses between their prisoners and their elements that have been completely killed. So they've lost most of their fighting force, but they probably, they haven't lost the actual siege. Our unit probably needs some time to recover before attempting another stage to this siege, I'd have to assume. Ooh, the Saxons are running rampant. The Saxons did not go to Prague. They're not going to Prague. That's worrying. Oh shit, there's got to be like 5,000 power here outside of Prague. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Oh man. So promoting Kurt did not actually increase his capabilities, his command rating from what I'm aware of. It may have increased some other things, maybe his cohesion rating or something, but it looks like it changed his traits. And in fact, I believe it removed some traits, like it re-rolled his traits, but it looks like he actually lost Assaulter, which is actually not good. That's a pretty shitty promotion. And once again, unfortunately, Saxony has not opened up. Our morale is doing swell, and the Austrians are still wavering around the same amount. Their victory points are actually lowering by the looks of it. Another pretty consequential turn. Things are still going pretty back and forth. Man, I really hope the Bavarians join us. It may help me actually finally move on these locations, but if it's anything like the last campaign, they'll join, just like a couple turns too late to really do anything meaningful anyway. With that though, we do have a nice full episode. This is really heating up the longer it goes on. More and more enemy forces are getting involved. We've already taken Prague, but it looks like we're going to be fighting like crazy just to hold on to it. Surprisingly, to me anyway, we've gotten through this episode without any major or even notable or even any defeats, actually, now that I think about it. And we've actually just been getting by, just barely in my eyes, but winning some pretty good victories and keeping ourselves elevated above that which we are fighting. And I'm sure that, hopefully, my use of the requisitions will start paying off for us, because I know this isn't a whole map campaign, so I'm hoping the requisitions will help keep our units in the fight, whereas the Austrians should hopefully be struggling. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.